How many times have we done Adjust the Tip and it's JT?
It's all the time.
He's the guy. It feels like 90% of the time it's John
90%, 90%, 90%, 100%.
Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
On tonight's podcast, we look back at the Leafs week. It was there was a lot of hockey this week. Played 4 games. We got lingering groin problems still going on. Load management. The soup is hot. Mustache updates. Secondary scoring. The Leafs left wingers. Stache and Kampf. Plus, we got a double shot of Just the Tip. Saved by the stache. And for the first time this hockey season, you're going to get to hear a little wet puck or dry stick. Also for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In podcast. Check out our YouTube channel at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like and subscribe. If you like the podcast, you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/the Tip In podcast. You can donate as little as a cup of coffee, and we can put that money back into the podcast to bring you more frequent episodes and better sound and recordings. But let's get to the week that was. So want to do the recaps? Monday night?
Yeah, man. So like you said off the top, 4 games this week, right? Like, was it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday? We're doing this podcast Sunday. We skipped Saturday night after the Sabres game. Like, what the fuck was that? What was that last night?
Oh my God.
What was that? Like,
that was a Saturday night in Buffalo. That's what that was.
Jeez. I don't even know what to say about that. That was just, we'll get to that game. Anyway, yeah. So
we'll quickly go over the week. Monday night, the game that Dale said, I mean, they got to win this. They got to beat the Kings, but it's a trap. And I said, they're going to lose now because you said that.
They had won 5 games going into this, right?
I know, but it's a trap game. They're probably looking forward to the Flyers and the Flames coming in town, and you kind of overlook the Kings.
The Kings had won like 5 in a row going into that game on Monday night.
Oh, I know, but you know how this Leafs team is.
Oh, I totally. But like, listen, with Campbell playing his former team and playing like Jonathan Quick for the first time, I just expected a little more here from the boys, but I guess I shouldn't be fucking surprised. So anyway, this will be an overall pretty upbeat podcast. Like, are things perfect in Leafland right now? No, not by a long shot. But
if they won 8 of 9,
that's just it. Yeah. That's just it. So they haven't played anywhere near their best hockey. And I'm pretty sure they're in their 3rd overall in the Eastern Conference right now. 3rd overall out of all the teams in the East. So that's crazy considering like they're nowhere near.
Now they've played a lot more games than some other teams like Tampa and Boston. But yeah, they're right there. They're right behind the Florida Panthers for first in the Atlantic Division. They're right there.
They're literally
there.
They're literally a point or 2 behind the Panthers now. But overall, the Eastern Conference standings right now are the Florida Panthers, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Those are the top 3 teams in the East as of right now.
Yeah, you can't be too picky about this.
No,
it's looking pretty good, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. So anyway,
but they got their ass whooped by the Kings on Monday night.
Well, that's just it. So like, let's just be honest here. The Kings come in, like the Leafs had 34 shots on the Quick was good. Quick was good in that game. He was, I thought. Like, I mean,
he was good.
Was he the difference? Would they have lost anyway? I don't know. But I didn't think Campbell was terrible. Like, he didn't really they weren't that great in their own end.
Campbell had an off night, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Kings put up a 5 spot and John Tavares gets the lone goal. I mean, there's not much else to that game other than that, man. And like, the Kings beat them 5-1, snapped the Leafs 5-game winning streak. And
and then our buddy Rod was at the game.
Was he on Monday night?
He texted me and he's like, "Go Leafs, go!" And he was sitting right behind the benches, right at center ice.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you swing those?
I don't know. I was like, Jesus, great seats. Terrible game.
Yeah.
But great seats.
Yeah. Crazy.
So
Did you see him? Did you see him on TV?
I would look for him, but I couldn't see him. But you get to the guy maybe gets to one game a year.
Yeah.
And then that's the game he gets. That kind of sucks. But
that definitely sucks.
They got their asses whooped by the Kings.
That's like over the years, I don't know. I haven't been to an overwhelming amount of Toronto Maple Leaf games, but I've been to enough of them that like my win-loss record for attending Leafs games is under 500. What about you?
I've actually seen a lot of good Leaf games. Not only have I been in attendance for the one bad Leaf game that I saw live was with Rod. We scalped tickets and they lost like 5-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. He has a terrible record when he goes to the games. But myself, not only have I seen a lot of wins, I went down to Buffalo back in the day when the Leafs were crap.
Yeah.
And watched them. And you know what it's like. They don't win in Buffalo. Watch them beat up on the Sabres 5-2.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's rare. That's rare.
Well over 500 record. I've gone to 4 Ottawa games, Toronto and Ottawa. In Ottawa, I'm 4-0.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, they should invite me to more games because when I go, they seem to win.
Yeah, you've got a better winning percentage.
We went together and they won.
Yeah, they beat. We were sitting down in the lower bowl. They beat Carolina 3-1 the year that the Carolina Hurricanes won the cup that year.
Yeah, so I have a good record, man. I saw them play Nashville and Wade Belak. Rest in peace, Wade. He scored the game-winning goal off his ass in front of the net. Right in front of me. I was like right along the goal line. And I saw it go off his ass and in the net. It was great.
Okay. So anyway, the Leafs coming off of the 5-1 loss to the Kings go into Philadelphia on Wednesday night to play the Flyers. And I mean, let's be honest here. This was a good fucking performance by the Toronto Maple Leafs. I thought overall they bounced back very nicely. Campbell.
Which they normally do.
Yeah,
they bounced back pretty good after games like Monday night against LA. But
I was a little
worried. I was a little worried.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with that. I wasn't quite sure coming off of that Kings loss where this Flyers game was going to end up, but surprise, surprise. You never know with these fucking guys. One way or the other. You never fucking know with these guys. It's so fucking insane.
Hardest team to bet on.
Oh my God. Anyways.
A perfect road game. A perfect road game.
100%. So we get Nylander with 2 goals and Andre Kasha, whatever we're calling him. It's Kasha. That's what Cuthbert calls him, right? Kasha? Cash? Yeah.
Kasha. He calls him Kasha. Some people say Cash. And then what's his name on the panel last night was calling him Case.
Who?
Oh.
Who? Who? Which one on the panel last night? It was McTavish and BX. It was a terrible fucking panel.
It was BX that calling him Case. I think he called them 3 different things throughout the night.
Let me just quickly take a second here and say, like, I cannot stand the Sportsnet broadcast anymore. I can barely sit through a fucking Sportsnet broadcast anymore. TSN, I wish TSN did every fucking game. Because they're the way they present it, the way they broadcast the games, it's so much more fucking entertaining.
And their talent.
Oh my God.
Their on-air talent is just better than Sportsnet.
Ron McLean, Craig McTavish, and fucking Kevin Bieksa. Like, I might as well just take a fucking nap. Like, there's no fucking, anyway, Sportsnet, they need to up their fucking shit, man. Same goes with the radio side of it too. They changed their whole entire, like, sports, like the fan radio thing. The entire fucking station from 6 o'clock in the morning until fucking 7 p.m. fucking sucks. Every single show.
Well, they got rid of like some of their best people for no reason.
I know, but every single show on TSN 1050, from the morning show to the end of Overdrive, every single show is better.
Tim and Sid, since Sid left.
Oh, dude.
Tim and Friends. It's just not as good.
But I never watched Tim and Sid anyway, once Overdrive was a thing.
No, but they're not a bad show.
Yeah.
It's just they've gotten worse since Sid left. But like growing up, I used to listen to Bob McCown all the time.
Oh, sure.
I loved Bob McCown. And then in the morning, like I actually liked Greg Brady in the morning. I thought he was pretty good. I don't know. And Hockey Central at noon used to be pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. But it's not anymore.
It's not.
The Sportsnet, like the television station and the radio, it's absolutely brutal. TSN is just kicking their fucking ass in every fucking direction. Anyway, So back to the Flyers game. Nylander scores 2 goals. Stache scores a goal, which was nice. That was the first goal by the non-core 4 in fucking 2 weeks. Like I think it was the Detroit game was the last time someone scored that wasn't in the core.
Yeah, they had scored like 15 straight goals, the core 4.
So that's fucking insane. That's fucking.
Yeah. Well,
that's
after
good.
the slow start they had.
No, true.
I kept saying it on this podcast. The floodgates were going to open eventually, and these guys were going to wake up, and they did.
Yep.
And then, he scores.
Yeah, it was good to see. They iced it 3-0. Campbell gets the shutout. He makes 36 saves for the shutout.
But a good, he made some really good saves, but I thought the Leafs did such a great job of pushing the shots outside, not really giving the Flyers a whole lot of secondary looks.
Yep.
Just such a good road game. A game you're like, why can you not play like this on a more regular basis? It must drive Keefe mad to see them go out and do that, and then to see like what happened last night in Buffalo. And you're just man. I know you can do it. Why don't you do it? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep, it is crazy. Okay, so moving on then from the Flyers game. So we go into the weekend, Friday and Saturday, back to back. So they're back home on Friday night against the Flames. And I'll tell you what, like I'm watching this Friday night game, and I don't know if it was just because they were at home and the Saturday night game was just in Buffalo and there was like nobody in the stands, and it just was kind of fucking, I don't know, like it's just, I didn't like the Saturday night game. The Calgary Flames game on Friday night, to me, felt like that was like the Saturday night hockey night in Canada game.
Yeah, it did. It was, the fans were into it. The fans have been great this year in Toronto. Toronto gets a bad rap of having a really quiet building.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been good. I don't know if they just needed that year of not being able to go to the games to really respect and, come to life now. And they're like, oh, it's so bad. But like chanting refs suck and booing and just going crazy. And the Leafs have given them a lot to cheer about lately, but they've really woken up.
I wonder if it's got anything to do with like there's maybe a different mix of people in the building, like because of COVID. Maybe some people are still hesitant to go, so there's more tickets available for other people,
or they're giving their tickets to more diehard Leaf fans. But the
you're
building's
right,
been
something seems different. Like the
just
soup
watching
chants
on TV, even at Tuesday night. I see more Leaf jerseys in the lower bowl than I've seen in 10 years. It's just full of normally you see the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 rows is just suits. You see the odd Leaf jersey, but it's mostly just, especially on TV behind the benches. But it's a lot of jerseys. It's a lot of everybody standing up, everybody's screaming, cheering. The Go Leafs Go chants start. The soup chants every time he makes a save is like so loud. Toronto's come to play this year. I thought the fans were going to be hard on this team, but they're behind them huge. It's awesome.
Agreed. For now.
So for now, but Friday night did feel like Saturday. So
the Flames roll in, and I thought this was a pretty good game, even though there was no score after 2 periods, 0-0 going into the third. I still was entertained thoroughly by this game. And Campbell's back in net again, right? So
and he was. I said he should play the Calgary game and give Wall the Buffalo game, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Anyway, so we go to the third period, and the Flames score 5 minutes in, I think, and make it 1-0. And we're like, okay, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, here we go. Not good.
One of those nights where they couldn't score. And we're not thinking, oh, here we go. After the game, we're going to hear, it was a hot goalie. Or, we got stunned by a good goalie.
The goalie did play great. I can't remember.
He did play great, but you got to find one.
Yeah.
And they did.
Well, and then, I'm thinking, okay, now the offense has dried up. Like the big guys aren't scoring anymore. You're getting no secondary scoring. We'll get to that later. But here we go. Third period. Looks like it was around the 12 or 13 minute mark. And Nylander fucking tees it up in the slot area. And it looks like it's Nylander's goal. But hold on just a second.
They called it for Nylander.
They did, but they called it wrong. Want to know why? Because Andre Cash in front of the net with a little tip. This is not a little tip. This is an aggressive tip. Hit it, just the tip.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for just the tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
All right, so let's do it. So Kasha,
we got
welcome to Just the Tip, by the way.
Hey, Andre Kasha just lost his tip in virginity. Okay, his first tip in as a lead, and this was like you couldn't see it. It was a fucking bullet. You just couldn't see it.
It was invisible.
But, like the shot was so fast that it tipped. It was such a hard tip that you couldn't see it. Like you literally could not see it. You want to know who did see it? You want to know who could see it?
Who? Kasha.
Well, well, yes, but somebody else. Someone way up in the press box on Friday night. He fucking saw it. I was listening.
Not Jim Ralph.
No, but his name is also Jim.
Who is it?
A friend of the show. Another Jim. I haven't talked about him in a long time.
Jim Houston?
This guy used to love a good mustache.
Oh, Jim Taddy.
Yes, guy. Taddy called that tip right from the fucking second it happened. He called that tip right from the second it happened. He made a point on the post-game show afterwards to tell everybody. He's like, I knew that was a tip immediately, Taddy said. Okay? So if Taddy sees it from way up there, that is all the proof you need. If Taddy calls it a tip, that is a tip. That's all the proof I need.
We talk about tip-ins on the show. We love tip-ins on the show. We're called the tip-in. But our goal in life is to have the vision of tips, to be able to see from that far away. Like, Jim Taddy, we're good at tips. He's the king of spotting a tip.
Oh, dude.
Unbelievable.
So congratulations to Andre Kasha, his first tip-in as a Toronto Maple Leaf. He ties the game 1-1, and that is the first Just the Tip this week. We got a double shot for you. Stay tuned for that.
We'll have another Just the Tip coming up. But something did happen. So they tie the game, and this goes into overtime.
And
it was back. It was fourth. It was breakaways. There was one point when Jack Campbell wasn't even in the net, and I don't think the Calgary Flames noticed. They just kept passing the puck, and I'm like, if they shoot it, it's game over, but they never shot it.
Yeah.
But it all led to one thing.
Well, here's the thing. Matthews gets a breakaway, and it looks like this fucker's over, but he breaks his
he cracked the shaft.
He cracked the shaft.
Yeah.
Breaks his stick. His stick
didn't
breaks right in his hand.
It didn't bust.
No, it didn't. He didn't bust it.
He cracked the shaft.
Yeah, he had it right in his hand. He had a good firm grip on it, and the fucking thing just snapped right in his hand.
It doesn't matter. Even if you crack the shaft, it's really hard to get it off.
Oh, and he couldn't. He didn't.
He couldn't get it off. But he went shaft, can't get it off.
He went to the bench and he said, "I broke my fucking stick." So he grabs a new twig. During this whole scenario, Jack Campbell makes a huge save at the other end, and then Austin's back on the ice again. And what do you know? He's almost got a partial breakaway again. And here we go. It's saved by the stache.
It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the. It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the. It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the.
Stache. I wouldn't say this was a partial breakaway. I would say this was a guy who was like, you may have stopped me when my shaft wasn't 100%. Well, guess what? My shaft is perfect right now.
You're right. This wasn't, now that I think back, it wasn't really a partial breakaway. He was kind of just beat the guy to the net.
Yeah, he just carried it over the blue line, took it outside, and what a shot.
Once he got that new stick, whoo!
Oh, yeah.
Man. So luckily, like, we had a double shot of we got a double shot of just the tip this week. We had a double shot of Saved by the Stache last week. The Mustache Brothers got it done last week. Well, now we got another little mustache making the rounds. And what do you know? Tony saves the day again. Who's the boss? Our buddy Tony, right? He's back in action. He's back in action, and he gets the winner in overtime for Saved by the Stache. Tony.
He did it. Who's the boss?
Who's the boss?
He just told him. He just looked the goalie right in the eye, and he's like, I got a perfectly healthy shaft right now. Who's the boss?
Yeah, he also said, look, like, I can't take much more time here. I got to get back to the house and start fucking cleaning because Angela's going to freak.
Angela's going to come home from her office job in her pantsuit and is going to fucking freak.
Yeah. So
and Mona's just been fucking throwing shit all day, all over the place.
Yeah. So he needed to bang that home quick and get the fuck out of there, or else it was going to be, and he did. So that was great. That was
in and out. It went in and out so quick.
Yeah. The goalie maybe should have had it, but
whatever.
Hard to stop that shot. Like, let's be serious here. Tony.
Yeah. So Leafs win 2-1.
Leafs win it 2-1 in overtime.
Then they have the long trek to Buffalo. They were probably literally in their hotel room by like 11:30 midnight.
In Buffalo the night before? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so close to go to Buffalo. So when they play the back-to-backs, I don't really find that as an excuse. Like, if you've got to play and then you've got to fly to Chicago or something, maybe, or you've got to go to the West Coast, you're going to Buffalo.
Time zone and
time, but the way they get bussed and fly down or however they get there, some people have that long of a commute every day to their jobs.
Dude, what's a flight from Pearson? Or they might not even go to Pearson. What's a flight from the Toronto? Toronto Island.
The ferry. They could take the ferry over to the island.
How long would a flight be from the island?
Dude, I took a plane. Buffalo? I took a plane from Toronto Island to Ottawa, and I was 45 minutes.
Okay, I think it would be less. It would be less.
Oh, it would be way less than that. It would be like 20 minutes.
It might be 20 minutes. Yeah. So yeah,
you just fly over the lake. You literally just like fly over the lake, and you're in Buffalo. So it's not. I mean, it's a back-to-back, whatever, but the travel's not too crazy, so I don't like hearing that as an excuse.
I'm with you.
But they go into Buffalo. Buffalo also played the night before.
Yes.
The Edmonton Oilers. And they beat them.
Yeah, how about that?
Buffalo's been sneaky this year.
They have. And look, I was thinking going into this game too. I'm like, look, I really am this year. Like Detroit, Buffalo, like the teams that like nobody predicted would be good. Like, you can't sleep on any of these fucking guys anymore. You just can't do it because they will legit beat you. The Sabres could have won that hockey game last night, but
the Sabres should have won that hockey game last night.
Yeah, probably.
They outplayed the Leafs. Look at we'll get into the recap, but look at the first goal of the game.
Oh, ridiculous.
Like, it's just a fluke goal that went the Leafs' way. That puck doesn't go in the net, and 99% of the time it doesn't. They don't even win that game. Yeah. So. No, I know. Aaron Dell, in net for the Sabres. Didn't know that he even played there. But Joseph Wall gets his, sorry, on Aaron Dell for a second. Since Dubas signed him and then he got picked on waivers, I think by the the Flyers. No, I think it was the Devils. The Devils, yeah. And then he's played for so many damn teams. He literally is like 1-10 in his last 11 games or something. The guy just cannot fucking get a fucking win if he just cannot do it. But anyway, Joseph Wall. So no Hutchinson sighting. They stick with Wall, had been up with them all week. Keefe, I guess, told Joseph Wall several days in advance that he was going to be getting the start in Buffalo. And this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, give one of the kids a fucking shot. We know Hutch isn't the guy. Let's see what else we got. Like you were saying last podcast as well. So Joseph Wall gets the start. I was super excited about that. What did you think of his game? I thought it was decent. It's hard to tell because the team played so shitty in front of him. Yeah. But he made some big saves. He's a little scrambly at times, but he's huge. Big guy, yeah. He's so big. Like, kid. Yep. I guess I've gotten so used to watching Campbell this season. Campbell's not as big. Like, Campbell's a big guy, but he's not a giant like Joseph Wall. Yep. And Campbell's so athletic and so in position. Wall's not that type of goalie. No. Kind of reminds me of Eddie the Eagle. Eddie the Eagle used to just kind of get into position and let the puck hit him. That's kind of what Wall was doing last night. He's actually got an eagle on his mask. I think he is a big fan of Eddie the Eagle. Did you see the eagle on the one side of his mask? I did, but I didn't know if that was like for, I don't know, a team he played for or something. Not all Eagles go back to Eddie. Well, are you sure about that? Well, I mean, like, people wear Eagles on their shirts and helmets, and it doesn't mean that they're huge Eddie Belfour fans. No, you're right. It should. He's American, and he's played a bunch for like the American like national team and stuff growing up. So it could just be like a symbol of like
where he's from. I don't fucking know. I'm pretty sure it's Belfort. I forgot to mention this. I forgot to mention this. Going back to the Philly game for a second before we do the recap of the Sabres game. Speaking of Ed Belfour, Jack Campbell, when he got the shutout on Wednesday night in Philly, the 3-0 shutout, the last time the Leafs shut out the Flyers in Philadelphia was Eddie Belfour 19 years ago. 19 years ago. Holy man. So
you could only imagine the shower that night.
Dude, so now Campbell and Belfour have like this synchronicity. It's all come together now. It's all come together.
We should chip in some money and mail Jack Campbell a leather jacket for Christmas.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he's got one.
Yeah, but he doesn't wear it.
No, but he might be just keeping it for special occasions. But yeah, if we can, maybe we'll get a nice eagle stitched on the back. Like, yeah, I think Jack would
put
like
a couple
that,
could put a couple beers in the pocket
for sure. A hole in one of the pockets too,
and a bar of soap.
Oh yeah,
and say, just that's all you write in the card. Merry Christmas, Jack. You know.
He'd be like,
"The fuck is this?"
Thanks, buds. No, he would know. He knows what that is. He'd be like, honey, I gotta take a shower.
But Jack, you're wearing your leather coat. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I'll see you in there in 10.
Oh, we forgot to touch on the Hall of Fame game on the Calgary too.
Oh, yeah. What's the Hall of Fame game?
I was the Calgary game. I was very disappointed that everyone wore proper attire.
Dude, there's only been one person in history not to wear proper attire.
Yeah.
And that's why we talk about it on the show. Eddie the Eagle wore a leather jacket to his Hall of Fame. And
I
couldn't have been happier.
Oh, well, fuck. It was the best. It was the best statement ever. I'm going to the Hall of Fame. That's great. Blue jeans and a fucking leather jacket. I don't give a fuck.
But he wore a dress shirt and tucked it in.
Oh, yeah. Tight tuck.
Yeah, he had the tight tuck and the leather coat.
Dude, I was just hoping, I know who was it? Aginla, Ken Holland, Hossa. I forget who the other people were, but
the goalie, the girl goalie from the women's team.
Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Forget her name. But anyway, yeah, they all wore proper attire.
I know, but I was kind of hoping, in the back of my head, I'm watching this thinking, I wonder if Belfour's lurking around here. Is he up maybe in the press box? Is he thinking is he out drinking with who knows? I just was hoping that maybe Eddie would make an appearance, that we'd see the jacket there, and we maybe would get a peek. The camera would show the inside pocket and there was a fucking beer sticking out. But
I don't know.
Didn't happen.
I remember that Hall of Fame induction when he came out with the leather jacket. And I remember turning to the people I was watching the game and I was like, he looks, and he did. He looked like a dad who's going to Applebee's for dinner on a Friday night. Well, I better get dressed up for if we're going out to the Olive Garden, and just wears jeans with a dress shirt and a leather coat.
That's not how I read it. To me that was but
did it not seem like that to him? That was a nice outfit.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. I don't think this was an Applebee's thing. I think this was I'm getting inducted into the Hall of Fame here. I don't want to waste any time wearing a suit and then changing into my bar clothes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it was
a time saver.
Oh, dude, he's obviously got a reputation of going out and getting absolutely fucking shit.
Yeah, just Google Ed Belfour, Matt Sundin, Ty Domi drinking. Just Google it.
There's other this endless Belfour getting drunk stories, and
pictures on the internet.
Oh yeah, it's not pretty at times, but we still love you, Eddie. But he ends up that's the thing. He wore his going out, his bar attire. He's Hall of Fame, that's cool, but I'm going out to get drunk, so I'm just gonna wear my bar attire and that's it. That's how I saw it. I
totally understand. He waved at the crowd, said his thank you, left the ice.
Beer.
Right to the pulled out the beer from the pocket and was like, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get her done. All right. So we go into Buffalo. Joseph Wall does get a start. Yeah, I thought Joseph Wall played okay. I would like to see more from Joseph Wall. I hope that's not his last start.
It won't be. They've got a back-to-back coming next weekend too, Saturday and Sunday. He'll get one of those games.
Because I wish if the team played better in front of him, I think he would have had an even better result. He played pretty solid. It just, wow, the team was bad. Like, sure. I mean, bad.
At the end of the podcast, we'll tee up the 4 games next week. I would personally play with Wall in the first of the back-to-back next week, but we'll get to that at the end of the show.
Okay.
But anyway, so he gets the start. He gets his first NHL win, but this game was fucking all over the place. Like, the shots were basically even. The Leafs had 26 shots. The Sabres had 27 shots. It was just crazy. The first goal was absolute garbage.
The shots on goal were kind of even, but the game wasn't even.
It seemed back and forth the whole time, though.
Yeah, I didn't find it though. I found Buffalo had better chances. The teams were both sloppy, but the Leafs, man, they were cheating. Their forwards were floating and looking for breakaways and 2-on-1s. Like, there was no effort at all.
Agreed.
Except for a couple guys.
Yeah, I agree. So do you think like they still have this I'm talking about just the team in general. Do you still think the Leafs have this element of like, oh, we're going to cakewalk. It's the Sabres. We'll cakewalk these fucking guys.
100%. Yes.
That's got to change.
You said it 5 minutes ago. Everybody in this league can beat you. Yeah. Everybody in this league can beat you on any given night. Ottawa can outwork you, beat you. Montreal's playing terrible. They can still sneak up and beat you. Even Arizona and Chicago, like Chicago hadn't won a game, hadn't had a lead, and they almost beat the Leafs. So anybody in this league can beat you. You got to be careful, and coaches say it all the time, and they're not just saying it to sound pretty.
But I don't think
you can't take a night off.
But I don't think these guys get a man, like some of them maybe, but like the Nylanders and the Matthews and the Mariners, like basically who I'm talking about here.
They look at games like that. Yeah, you're right.
They don't seem to be like they're just kind of like whatever. Like
I think they can get by. Like I said, on skill cheating
on their skill. Yeah, exactly.
They look like they can just.
And
in the Flyers game, they're all back checking. They're playing their positions, pushing them to the outside, capitalizing. It was such a good hockey game. And then they play Buffalo, and it's just little poke check, go for the break. Oh, he got by me. 2-on-1 for Buffalo, whatever. It was ugly and lazy. It was lazy.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And Keefe said it after the game. I think did he bench Nylander? Nylander didn't play in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Some habits there, which, I mean, that's okay, cool. But like, I mean, Richie's played like shit the entire season. He hasn't fucking sat down. Well, no, he has actually. He has for a little bit of time. So I don't know.
He should be up in the
he should. But look, like Nylander's been their best forward. Tavares has probably been their best forward. Nylander's been one of their best 3 forwards. Yeah. Okay. So,
I'm not saying I agree with Nylander sitting for the last 5 minutes.
No, but like I get the like Willie's still a little too like nonchalant for me. The guy's improved incredibly. Like he's got a great shot. He's helping he does a lot of things that help.
He's having an amazing year. But don't you feel like Keefe, since Keefe has come here, he's like the first coach who doesn't just look at Nylander as a guy with a lot of skill. I think he honestly believes Nylander could be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think he pushes them.
Yeah. I don't think Willie personally will ever get there. I just don't think he has the makeup. Like, I just think he's too lackadaisical. Like, he doesn't, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you say, but
not that he doesn't
this
care.
Nylander from Nylander 3 years ago.
Oh, dude.
He's come a long way. If he takes these steps 3 years from now, he literally could be one of the top 10 players in the league.
Well, his offensive ability is there. That's not gonna
I know, but I think
but
if Keefe pushes him to be an all-around player.
Okay, so play him on the fucking penalty kill then, and get his
he has been playing on the penalty.
Not really, not lately. He started
not regularly, but on and off.
I would give him a regular shift on the penalty kill every fucking Mitch, like the guys that need to be better, like two-way players, like Mitch, Willie. Like if you want, I don't know, I would play him on the penalty kill and just that forces him to play well defensively. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so going into this game, Bunting gets off the fucking schneid here. I'm just going to go over the Leafs goals, like not the Sabres. Bunting Keep changed the lineup going into this game. Coming off of a win. So Simmons gets scratched, healthy scratch. And
but he did say at the start of the year that they may look at doing stuff like that to give the older guys some rest.
That's fine. So
I don't mind Simmons taking a night off here and there.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, that's fine. And then Sandin, I guess, was a little banged up, so Dermott draws back in, and
which
Sandin,
is fine.
Yeah,
again, it's 3 games, 4 nights, end of a back-to-back, a long season. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
And Semyonov or whatever his name is,
Semyonov.
So like he played a couple games this week, including last night. I think he's got, I don't know. He didn't really do anything super impressive, but he didn't do anything either that I thought made him look bad. Like, I think this guy could be a depth piece. We'll see. But anyway, so Bunting was on the 4th line is where I was going with that to start the game.
Yep.
They moved Kasha up to play with Austin and Willie. And here's what I didn't really get. They moved Kerfoot down to the 3rd line, and then they moved Richie up to play with Tavares.
I know. Every Leaf fan is saying the same thing. They're really, really trying with Nick Ritchie. Like, I haven't seen a guy get this much rope in forever.
I can't even think of a guy that they're just like, okay, no problem. Like,
most guys, you play like the way he's played for whatever they've played, 16 games. You play like that for 16 games, you're either on the 4th line or you're up in the press box. But this guy gets like, he makes 1 assist on a power play.
Yeah, he happened to be in the right spot at the right fucking time.
Yeah, Mike Johnson said it on the radio, and I thought it was brilliant. He's like, any player in the NHL, if you put them on the power play long enough with William Nylander, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and John Tavares,
yeah,
they're gonna get an assist.
You'd think
it's just gonna happen eventually, and it happened with Nick Ritchie. But yet they made it this big deal, like, oh, he's coming into his own now.
I know, it was one little tiny pass out front,
like, on a power play.
On the power play, like, oh my god, like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what has he done to deserve? Like, Bunting hadn't scored lately, but he was giving it, like, he's working harder than Ritchie, I think, or at least it looks fucking way to me. So what does
he's doing more good things than Ritchie.
Okay, but so Bunting gets fucking shot down to the 4th line, and so, like, why does Ritchie get enough? Like, I just don't get it.
I don't know. I don't mind Bunting going down to the 4th line and Kasha going up to the first line. But
that's fine.
Ritchie, I don't know. Ritchie should go down to the 4th line. Bunting should go to the 2nd or 3rd line. I don't get it. We'll never get it. We've been talking about this for 16 games now.
Yeah.
Why is Nick Ritchie always playing in these positions? And it's going to continue, because you know what's going to happen the next game? He's going to be on the 2nd line, or he's going to get power play minutes. It's just going to keep happening because they put $5 million into this guy and they need him to go.
That's scary, man. It's an absolute nightmare of a signing, an absolute fucking nightmare. But anyway,
I think they're really trying to make it not an absolute nightmare.
Well, it already is. I don't see how.
If he had signed 1 year at league minimum, do you think he's playing in the lineup right now? No, he's not.
Yeah, no.
But because of his contract, he's playing in the lineup every night. Anyway, so Bunting, Kasha, they both score.
Yep. Yeah, and Camp got the first goal, so it's 3-2.
It was 3-1. They blew two 2-goal leads. They were up 3-1.
Yeah.
They were up 4-2.
They just kept blowing leads the whole fucking night. But it was 3-2 for the Leafs after the 2nd, going into the 3rd, when it looked like Morgan Riley teed one up from the fucking point to make it 4-2, and it just blew by everybody. But that's not what happened at all.
For the 2nd time tonight, it's time for Just the Tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
So, how did you see this? How did you see this?
Our boy.
How did you see this?
This fucking guy, man. You know what? Morgan Riley rips it. He fucking rips it on net. Absolutely rips it. Looking for his first goal of the season. Fuck, Morgan Riley.
He would get it.
He did get it.
Not here.
Not fucking here. I don't think so. When you got 91, Johnny Tippin, Toronto, in front of the net, there's nothing you can do, Morgan. Sorry, bud. It's just not going to happen. He's going to get a little bit of wood on that, and that's all he needs, man. He doesn't need much. He just
day in,
needs
day out, night in, night out. You put a puck anywhere close to him, that close to the net, he's going to get his wood on it.
Dude, this was a bullet, but guess what? He still was like, boom. No, I got that. Fucking don't even worry about it. I'm tipping this bitch in. You want to know why? Here's the thing. Johnny Toronto's 100th goal as a Toronto Maple Leaf, and it just so happens to be a fucking tip-in. Think he didn't plan that? Think he didn't plan that? Yeah, okay. Think he didn't plan that?
Well, I don't know if he planned it, but
yeah, he did.
Yeah, you're right. He did.
He did. It needed to be something special for his 100th as
I'm pretty sure Keefe told him. Keefe said, look at, go to the high slot or go to the side of the net and we'll try to feed you for a one-timer. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then he stands out there and Keefe's like, what's he doing? He's standing right in front of the goalie. That's not right. What I told him to do. Mm-hmm. And then he just said to Morgan, he said, shoot it as hard as you can. And boom.
Boom. Love to see it. Johnny, tip in, Toronto.
How many times have we done Adjust the Tip and it's JT?
It's all the time.
It feels like 90% of the time it's
90%, 90%, 90%, 100%. He is the guy. Like he's
90%, 100%.
No, like I mean, it's 90%.
I know, but you sounded like the guy from Anchorman. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Sex Panther. I have to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
It's very pungent. But yeah, so 90%, 100%.
Yeah. So anyway,
90% of the time, 100% of the time.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Johnny Toronto, man, he is look, we've known this for a long time. He is the king. Nobody tips it in better. Nobody does it better. He is the man for as far as tip ins go.
He is.
So love to see it. And he's having a fucking great start. He missed we're missing all kinds of stuff here. He missed a game too. He missed the Flyers.
We didn't even talk about it.
No. He missed the Flyers game with the lower body. I'm sure that was groin, but it must not be too serious.
Oh, he's got a groin of steel.
And also, I think it was in the Friday. Fuck, I can't believe I missed this too. In the Friday game, that was the first game back. He missed the Philly game. He played against the Flames, and he blocked a shot, and he went down. Do you remember? And he was kind of like hobbling, and you didn't see where he got it. They showed the replay. Right in the fucking nuts. Right?
It was like a little high.
I don't know. He went down like
region, but
it was like that was right in the groin, baby. He went down like that was right in the fucking pills.
Yeah,
big time.
I remember seeing it and I thought, did that hit his nuts? But it didn't. It missed, but it was close.
It was in the vicinity that it probably felt like a nut shot.
Oh yeah, anywhere around there. Yeah, you're done.
So anyway, congratulations, Johnny Tippin, Toronto, on your 100th goal as a Leaf. Of course, it's a tip-in, no doubt about it.
Johnny Toronto, 90% of the tips, 100% of the time.
That's right, man.
So they take a 4-2 lead.
Yeah,
they blow it. And,
literally, the Sabres come back and score 2 goals within the next fucking 4 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and tie it up 4-4. And then with 11 seconds, looks like it's going to overtime. Looks 100% like that. And then Riley tees it up again from the fucking point and pops it home for the winner. His first goal of the season. The Leafs beat the Buffalo Sabres 5-4.
Yep.
And that's all she wrote for the games this week. So you got
a loss to LA, a win over Philly, a win over Calgary in overtime, and a win over Buffalo. So 6 of 8 points, 6 of their last 9, second in the Atlantic Division, third in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
Like we said at the beginning, we're going to stay mainly positive, but let's take a quick break. And when we get back,
quick chat. I just want to say before we break, I just want to say again, Joseph Wall gets his first win,
absolutely,
his first NHL win.
Congrats, Joseph Wall.
Congrats, Joseph Wall. And just before we go to break, did you happen to see Joseph Wall's mom in the stands?
She looked paranoid.
Oh,
you know how hard it'd be to be the parent of a goalie in their first game? Like, it's one thing if the player plays 5-6 minutes on the fourth line. I don't even know.
Dude, that is not even where I was going with that.
Oh, sorry.
Not even where I was going with that. Joseph Wall's mom in the stands. What a fucking MILF. What a fucking MILF.
I didn't think so at all, but okay.
I did. I liked what I saw, Mrs. Wall. What a MILF. Love it. Love it. Let's go to break.
All right. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, we're going to do some mustache updates, talk about the soup being hot, but we also got our first wet puck or dry stick of this season. So stick around. You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
It's me, Austin Matthews. Some of you might know me as a professional ice hockey player. Most of you probably know me for my mustache. Last year, I told you that I would sacrifice my mustache if I could raise $134,000 to support men's health. But that didn't happen. So what's going on, you ask? I spent the last 12 months curating this museum of the greatest mustache paraphernalia so that you would take me more seriously. What else is serious? Raising funds for mental health and suicide prevention, testicular and prostate cancer research. Help me raise $134,000 for Movember, and I promise I will shave this off, and you will not have to see my stash again. Until next year.
Welcome back to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. As you just heard in our break there, Austin Matthews for Movember, $134,000. If he can raise that, he's going to shave his stash. Because it's Movember, we're going to say help him out, but down deep, we're no, I don't want that. I don't want that stash going anywhere.
And he did say that in that clip there, he did say that you will not see my mustache again until next season. Now that scares the hell out of me, that if it goes, it won't go forever, but we won't see it again this season. It won't be until next season. Now that is scary as fucking hell. But here, listen.
What about the playoffs? We better see it in the playoffs.
Well, I hope maybe he'll start. Well, yeah, because then next year could mean, hey, 2022 is all just a couple months away.
Yeah,
a month and a half away.
Yeah,
month and a half.
Weeks. It's weeks away.
Weeks away. So boom, it could be a quick shave. New Year's, boom, it's back. We'll see. But listen, did you fucking see his custom skates and his custom stick with little mustaches all over them for Movember? Did you see that shit?
I did.
Man,
loved it.
Oh, I was like, how do I get my fucking how do I get my hands on a pair of these? A stick and skate combo with the mustaches.
Well, he's probably going to auction them off for Movember.
Yeah, that'll be out of my price range probably. But
maybe we could steal some.
Maybe, fuck, dude. You imagine we might have to go halvesies on that, just so we can display them in the background. You take one, you take one skate, I'll take the other. We'll display them behind us when we do the podcast.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But okay. So here's where it's at. Where have you checked the numbers? Do you know before I give you the update? You already know?
I have no idea where it stands.
Okay,
what's he at?
Last year he finished with 66,000 something. It was 66,200
pretty good.
And something, whatever. Okay. Yeah, but that's like halfway.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money for a great cause.
Of course. Great. 100%. So, and we were counting it down last year too. We were like, oh, it doesn't look like he's going to do it. So there's 2 weeks left in November, and he has raised to date so far this year $62,651.
Whoa, he's gonna blow past.
He's still in 2 weeks. He's still got more than half to go.
Yeah, but he's doing pretty good so far. That commercial, if you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. It should be played all the time.
Yeah,
like all the time during the games. It should be aired. I don't understand why it's not being aired at least 3 times per game. No idea.
I agree. So anyway, we'll see. We'll hey, be sure we probably got 2 podcasts left in the month of November. So before it turns to December, next Saturday and the following Saturday. So we will be tracking this hard.
That's
But yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see where he gets. He's like just shy of the halfway point, but there's 2 weeks left. Like, I think he'll probably, like, that's still a lot of money, man. A long way to go to get to 100.
Yeah, he might not get to 134,000, but maybe he can get to 100,000.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be doable. So, but I still 134,000. It's just such a lot. It's just such a fucking large amount of money, man. But
I wonder if he did raise the money, or else I'll get rid of the stash. So not raise the money to get rid of the stash, but raise the money to keep the stash.
Okay. Next year, we got to get word to him. This is what you got to do. That you got to switch it up.
He did 134,000 in an hour.
People are hesitant to donate because they don't want to see the stash go.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing it in reverse. Usually people grow a mustache for Movember, not I'm gonna shave it. He's doing like reverse psychology here.
Yeah, because he already has the mustache.
I know. So I think it's got to be, do you love my mustache? Donate $134,000 and I will never, ever fucking shave it. Ever.
No, I will keep this mustache for $134,000.
That's where he's got to go next year, I believe. I think that's where he's got to go.
Absolutely.
So anyway, we'll keep tracking that. We'll see. Anything else on that?
No, let's move on. What are we going to talk about next?
There's a little
stash update.
There's a little bit more of a stash update.
All right, what do we got? What is the stash update here?
Well, last week on last week's podcast, we introduced a new mustache, the Tom Selleck, Timothy Liljegren.
Yeah,
we got the Mustache Brothers with Austin and Willie. We got Tom Selleck with Timothy Liljegren, and oh my goodness, this week we have another new mustache sighting. This one is a beauty, not quite as nice as Timothy Liljegren's, but nice nonetheless. And I'm talking about TJ Brody.
Oh yeah, TJ Brody. He's doing it for Movember.
Okay, well,
but it's a nice one, and maybe, just maybe it sticks around.
TJ Brody has now added himself to the mustache conversation, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's like a hard working mustache too.
Oh,
like, Austin's got his, and Willie's got his, and we know Liljegren's is solving crimes in Hawaii, Magnum PI, but Brody's is, grab your lunch pail. Go to work.
Bring your lunch pail to work. TJ Brody. That's just it, brother. So I love seeing another. It looks like that's it. We just got the 4 of them. Like, okay, I should give an honorable mention to Cache. Okay, because Cache also
got one.
Cache also has a stash, but it's just not. I don't know. It maybe because it's blonde and you can't. I've never been a huge. Well, Willie's is kind of dirty blonde too, but I don't know. There's just something about Cache's mustache that doesn't sit the same with me as the others. Like, yeah. I can't explain it. It's just.
I get it. I totally get it. But it's there, but you could do better.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, so we got 5 on the team, but really 4 that are really meaningful mustaches. Yeah. So I think it'll probably stop
and
there.
And really only one solving crimes.
Oh, dude, that guy. Okay, so speaking of that, then let's go here. I wanted to talk a little bit about Sandin and Liljegren.
I got all day to talk about these guys.
Look, okay, like Sandin didn't play the last game against the Sabres. Like, I guess he's a little bit banged up. But Liljegren, ever since I said, like, you can't take this guy out of the fucking lineup, he has played extremely well. Okay, the pair of them together, I really like those two together.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Sandin's played well, and I think Liljegren's played really well. I think arguably it's been their best pair. Like, I don't know. Am I off on that?
No, well, no, they have looked incredible, but it might be because we weren't expecting. The bar was so low that they've surpassed it, they've exceeded it, and that's just kind of why it seems like they've been the best defenseman, but I think the way the season started, Justin Hall looks a step behind. He doesn't look very good this season. Jake Muzzin kind of started off rough. TJ Brody hasn't really been himself. Morgan Riley's been hit or miss. It's the window just opened up for these two guys to come in, and they've looked great. And we kind of knew Sandin had the potential. We've seen him before.
Oh man,
I had no idea that Timothy Liljegren was this calm and collected.
Dude, he's jumping in the rush. He's making plays happen. Like, he's great with the puck. Like, coming out. Like, okay,
it kind of makes it crazy, because do you think if they could go back now, they just don't protect Justin Hall, and they're like, we'll take our chances because we got a right-handed defenseman? Or do you think they want as many defensemen as they can?
Yeah, no, I don't think they would have did that, because really they didn't lose anything. So, like, yeah, no, I don't think they would have did. They would have.
Jared McCann's a good player.
No, I get that, but like, I'd take McCann over Richie right now in 2 fucking seconds.
Yeah,
flat.
that's what I'm saying.
So,
You'd have Jared McCann, and now Timothy Liljegren's played up. Because I'm just going to say it right now. I think by the time the playoffs come, Justin Hall will be a fixture in the press box, or he will be traded.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. But we'll see. You might be right. But anyway, I just wanted to quickly touch on the pair of Sandin and Liljegren, because I think they've been awesome.
Oh, unbelievable.
I think they've been awesome.
Unbelievable. But while we talk about Sandin and Liljegren being completely awesome, we just have to give props to Jack Campbell.
Soup is hot. Soup is hot, baby.
Soup is hot, and we're going to talk about this. He has been just unreal this season. And here's the funny thing. The number 1 and number 2 goalies in the league for save percentage and numbers, like for starters.
I know who you're going to say.
Freddie Anderson and Jack Campbell.
Yeah, no shit.
Can you imagine you had both those guys on the same team?
Yeah,
that would be unreal.
I honestly think I think Jack's numbers are more impressive, because Carolina plays a hell of a lot fucking better defensively than the Toronto Maple Leafs. So
absolutely.
Like, Fred's getting a lot of help is what I'm basically saying, and Jack is not getting as much help. So I look at those numbers, and to me, Campbell's are more impressive.
Campbell's played 13 games so far this season, and we were all kind of questioning what we were getting in Jack Campbell. But so far this season, and I don't know how you want to put this, if 13 games is enough or if you need to see a lot more, whatever. But I don't need to see anymore. 2 shutouts, 182 goals against average, 8 wins, 3 losses, 1 OT loss, and a .939 save percentage. Like, come on. Could you have asked for anything more out of this guy?
No, and I don't need to see anymore. I've said last podcast, like, I've seen enough. I don't need to see anymore. This guy is a legit number fucking 1 goalie in the National Hockey League. And
a good person, just to
it's the best. It's not a fluke. This isn't a fluke. Like, you don't go fluky for, like, just the sample size is big enough for me.
Yeah, you got to go back to last season too, right? Like, he played what, 20 games or something, 22 games last year, and he had
I don't know.
He was incredible. He had like a .920 save percentage, and now he's got a .939.
100%. And he's not the reason why they lost that playoff series. He was great in those, like, not the best in Game 7, but they were done by that point. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
but
everyone knew they were done.
The first 6 games, Jack was fucking awesome. And so, sample size last season, what he did in the regular season, what he did in the playoffs. Now he's doing this. Oh, fuck, the soup is hot. So, but I just want to say this.
You got to blow on that soup.
Oh, you got to blow hard on it. Got to blow hard.
Because it'll burn you.
Yeah, big time.
Burn your mouth, that soup.
Like, look, man, here's where I'm going to go here. I know you don't want to talk contract and that, so we'll skip that. But I will go here. I think we got a load management situation on our hands.
We have a huge load management.
We haven't talked about load management in quite a while on this podcast. No. It used to be a favorite subject of ours here at the show. But I think we got a big time load management situation on our hands here right now. Look, he has not been a starter in the league. He hasn't played. Look, I'm worried that he's going to get burnt out. He's going to be playing more games than he's ever played. He's eventually he just might start to wear down as we get into the dog days, into, fucking January, February. Well, mind you, they have all of February off. So I guess that really might not be the situation this year. Like, they have all of February off.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't matter. I think they still need to manage the load.
Yeah, with Jack, you got to manage that load.
Like, they're playing a lot of 4 games a week.
Oh,
like a lot.
Dude.
Like, schedule is jam packed, and the whole reason for bringing in Peter Mrazek was to take some of the load. He takes a bit of the load. You take a bit of the load. So spread the load.
Right, and we'll take
the load evenly. I just got so excited talking about the load. I hit my microphone.
I know. I think that you might have just shot the load right there.
I think I did. I got a little load on my mic.
You got a mess over there. But look, and we'll get to Peter Mrazek next year, okay? But I just wanted to touch. I just wanted to see.
I think you're absolutely right.
If your thoughts were the same with me, like load management, like I'm a little worried. Like, I don't want Jack to be burnt out when it's fucking playoff time, and he's like, kind of what's happened to Anderson before. Like, we got to play Anderson because we got nobody else, and then when it gets fucking time in the spring, like, doesn't have his A game because he's played so much fucking hockey. So I think load management is a real thing here, but how do you do that with, okay, are we talking about Wall? What if okay, so let's go to Mrazek then. Since we did the last podcast, they came out like the next day and said, okay, we're shutting him down for a month, 4 weeks. He's going on LTIR, and he's fucking got 1 foot on the boat to Robida Island.
Yeah, he's pretty close. I mean, we have to give him a chance. He could come back and stay healthy, and things could be good. But if this keeps rolling,
brutal start to his Leafs career. Absolutely fucking.
If this groin keeps pulling,
lingering groin problems, this is not good.
If this keeps happening, man, I mean, but you have to look at it. Jack Campbell had some lingering groin problems last year, and he's bounced back beautifully. Maybe right. Peter Mrazek can do it. The only thing that really scares me is this is Peter Mrazek his entire career. Like, he's never been able to stay healthy for a long period of time. What makes us think this is going to be the time that he, miraculously can play 40 games, no problem?
That's just
it. Just doesn't happen for Mrazek.
No, it doesn't seem to. So yeah, like, I have no faith in that. So then tying that all in together, how do you deal with the load management situation for Jack if Mrazek isn't really going to be you won't be able to, if you can't count on Mrazek this year because of the injuries, how do you play the load management situation for Jack? Is it Wall? Do you make a trade for another goalie?
You have to make a trade for another goalie. I mean, right now I want to see what Joseph Wall has, but I don't think Joseph Wall's ready to step in and play 35 games this year.
No.
And you don't want that, especially, a Saturday night in Buffalo, you squeaked a win out. That was great. But when we get into the playoff push at the end of the year, what happens if Campbell has to miss 5 games, and you're playing Tampa and Boston and all these teams that are fighting for the last 2 playoff spots, because it is going to be tight this year. You said it on the last podcast, and you're absolutely right. The Metro division could have the top 3 and the 2 wild cards, which means the only way to make the playoffs in the Atlantic is to be in the top 3.
Yep.
I don't know, man. You need someone reliable. And every team seems to have a solid backup but the Leafs. Like, all the good teams in the league seem to have something. Even we were talking about Carolina, solid backup. Florida, solid backup. Boston, they got 2 goalies they're kind of riding, but they're both playing pretty good. Tampa's got a solid backup. Toronto, it's like up in the air. It was supposed to be Peter Mrazek, but if it's not, you got to go out and get one. And we have seen this time and time again. We watch a lot of movies on load management. You need 2 competent people to share the load. Am I right?
Yeah, that's 100% right. Like 90%, right?
100%
of the time.
Yeah, and that's how it is. If you need 2 competent people to share the load, that's 90% of the time, 100% of the time.
That's exactly right. I could not have said it better myself.
50% of the load, 100% of the time.
So anyway, we'll see like how that plays out. It should be interesting, but geez, man, I don't know. It worries me. Like, just Just the whole playing Jack too much. Like he looks great. He looks great. They got 4 games this week. Guess what? He's going to play fucking 3 of them. So,
yep.
What
do we do if he gets hurt?
Oh, they're fucked. They're fucked. Then it's Hutch and it's Wall.
Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like even if it's just he tweaks something and all Campbell's day to day, he may miss 3 or 4 games. I don't know. What was it? Was it 2 years ago where Hutch had to go in and he was like 4-1. I don't know what it was. He had a terrible record. Yeah, and someone's like, if you just had a backup goal,
a competent backup.
Yeah, this is before Campbell came.
Yeah, this was just before COVID.
Yeah,
a year before.
Okay, Campbell was on the team. I don't remember. Maybe Campbell was hurt.
No, Campbell was no. I think this was just before they made the trade for that. When did they make the trade for Campbell? It wasn't until like February of.
Yeah, it was February
of 2019, I think.
No, it was like 2000. Yeah, maybe 2019. You're right.
So it was Freddie and Hutch up until that point, and Hutch was just no.
Like they were fighting for a playoff spot, and had they just got, 500 or a little bit above or below 500 from their backup goalie, they would have been comfortably in a playoff spot, but they could not squeak out a win with Hutch.
You're right.
And we're going to be in that situation again, man. If Campbell gets hurt, they need to do something.
Yeah, I agree. Like as of right now, I'm cool with like Jack. If Jack's okay, like he's been playing so well, I have no problem with him carrying the load for now. But they're gonna have to see what's up with Mrazek. He's due to be back in probably around the same time Mikheyev for like the first week of December or so. So we'll have to see what's up. But I think they gotta be really careful about this load management situation with Jack Campbell going forward. I just wanted to touch on that. Anything else before we move on?
Well, just when you come back from a groin injury, we know this. Everybody who's hurt their groin knows this. You can't take on a big load until
that's just it.
It's little loads until you feel comfortable, and then the loads get bigger and bigger and bigger as the groin gets healthier.
Exactly. So then you're right. So how are they gonna fucking find a load management situation for Jack Campbell? That being the case, what you just said, they're not gonna throw Mrazek in and now Mrazek's playing 3 out of 4 games. No, it's not gonna happen.
No, it's even when he comes back, it's gonna be a month of him just tinkering.
So it's still gonna be Jack carrying the load.
Yeah, Jack's gonna be carrying the load for a long time.
This could be a problem. Not a problem because Campbell can't do it. A problem because he hasn't done it yet, playing this like a number 1 starter's amount of games for a full season.
And so far, unbelievable.
Great, 100%. But we're early days here, bro. And I have all the faith in the world in Jack Campbell. All I'm saying is, come the spring, I don't want him to be fucking gassed because he had to carry the load all fucking season because they had no one else to fucking back him up. That's what I'm saying.
Or when we need him the most, he gets hurt because you basically played him into the ground.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see what happens with that.
Okay. So listen, we touched on Liljegren and Sandin, and I've loved those 2 guys. I'm loving how those 2 guys are playing. Let's give a little bit of love here to Kampf and Kasha. What do you think about these 2? Because I have been super impressed. Outside of the big 4 and Spezza, and Bunting, I like too. But I think the way that Kampf and Kasha play every night, and Kasha's just looking better and better now that he's like back into a routine and he's playing more and the injuries look behind him. And Kampf, I've just been so impressed with Kampf.
Me too.
Both of them,
quietly.
Both of them together. I just love the way they play defensively. I love how they're aggressive on the forecheck. They're not afraid to go to the net. I don't know. I got a lot of time for both of these guys.
And Keefe has a lot of faith in them too, because they get all the tough defensive assignments. Like when there's a face-off in Toronto zone and the other team's putting out in that Boston game, when every time Bergeron and Marchand stepped on the ice to take a draw in Toronto zone, guess who the Leafs were throwing out there?
Yeah,
it was Kampf and Kasha. And I guess you can throw Engvall in there too, but it's basically Kampf and Kasha were doing it. And Kampf is just, man, to an average person who doesn't really watch hockey, you'd just be like, I don't notice him at all. But if you've played hockey or you watch it on a regular basis, you just see this guy is just, he's probably a coach's dream. He's always in position. Always in position, always got his stick in the right place. That's what she said.
Exactly. So, I'm sure this will not be the first time that we mentioned those two this season, but I just wanted to give a little shout out and a little love to Camp and Stache because I think they've been fucking two of their best secondary players.
And Stache had a beauty tip.
Exactly.
And unnoticeable, a shocker.
Exactly. And if you're on the board, like he just put the pinky right in there. If you're on the board with the tip, if you're on the board with the tip in, you're getting in our good books. Like it's impossible for us to not like you if you're tipping it in.
Why do you think we love JT?
Oh, fuck. JT
90% of the time, 100%.
Exactly. 90% of the time, 100%. So look, dude. So let's move on to this then. Secondary scoring, and in particular, I want to talk about the Leafs, the left side of the ice, the Leafs left wingers, okay? Secondary scoring, it's basically been fucking abysmal, man. Like, okay, Bunting and Stache's he's scored in his last 3 games now. Bunting got on the board last night. Camp got on the board, but like outside of those 3, like no one else is putting the puck in the net. The secondary scoring is an issue, right? Depth scoring, like what the fuck is going on here? Like, how big a concern is that to you?
I think it's a concern, but it was totally obvious. We've been saying this. We said this in the offseason. We said it last offseason. If you're going to spend that much money on your core 4 forwards, you don't have a lot to play around with the rest of the lineup. So if you want a third line that can pop in goals and stuff, it's going to be hard to find. That's why they're taking on projects like Stache, who's coming off an injury, in
Right.
hopes that he can score. And Michael Bunting, who's only played, I think he played 29 games before coming in.
Yeah, he's still like he's still a rookie, basically.
If they had money to spend, then they'd probably still have guys like Kapanen and Johnson and guys you can probably count on for 15 goals a year. They don't have that luxury. So this is going to happen. It's going to happen next year. It's going to happen the year after. Until these contracts expire, it's always going to be this way. That's why everybody loves Jason Spezza. League minimum, he gives you what you would get out of a $3 million, third liner.
Yeah, 100%.
And if we could get more out of Kerfoot, that would be good. I don't want to rag on Kerfoot because I think he's played well. For the money he's making and for the minutes that he plays and the talent he plays with, I would just want just a little more.
Well,
just a little more.
Okay. A lot of people were saying, like, I think he's got like 8 assists in his last, I don't know, however many games or whatever. But I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's kind of impressive. But like, if you're playing,
are they primary assists? Are they secondary assists?
I don't know. But for the, like, other than last night against the Sabres, he had been playing with JT and Mitch for like the last 2 weeks. So putting up 8 assists when JT's been the fucking red hot, like hottest player on the team. Like, I'm pretty sure you plug anybody else there, they probably got fucking 8 assists as well. So
yeah,
let's not fucking,
especially if it's just like, oh, I touched the puck and then the other guys did the work. We all know, everyone listening to this podcast right now, we're all Leaf fans. We all watch the games. Everyone feels the same way. You see a lot of talent with Kerfoot. We saw it last year in the playoffs. He has the potential.
Best hockey he's ever fucking played.
He has the potential and he has a lot of speed. He has a lot of skill. But I don't know what it is. You just want just a little more. And I think
a lot more, actually. A lot more.
Dubas has done a couple things that I haven't liked. And one of those things is doubling down on players before they've really proven themselves. I think he gave Engvall a contract a little early. And I think he gave Kerfoot a contract a little early. He just looked at Kerfoot as this forward replacement for Kadri. But I don't know. For the money he's making, if he was making Engvall money, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Oh, $2 million, no problem. 3.5, no.
I just want a little more.
That money could be spent elsewhere, I think. So, but anyway,
he might pull it through. Kerfoot might break out, and that's the thing. You don't know with Kerfoot.
Like you touched on some of the guys that used to play on the team and that are no longer here because of like the cap situation and all that. But specifically the left wingers that they have right now, like Bunting. Before they changed the lineup last night, before Keefe changed the lineup last night, they were rolling with Bunting, Kerfoot, Engvall, and Ritchie. Okay. Now, I fucking hate that. I absolutely fucking hate that look on the left side. Bunting, I can deal with. The other three, not a fan. I would bounce all fucking three of those guys if I could. That's how I feel about their left side of the ice.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do there. Like, here's what I would say quickly. Like, I know this is not going to happen, but you got a guy like Ho-Sang waiting in the wings. You got Gabriel, who I feel would actually bring you more energy than Richie right now. Like, I know they're not going to do that, but there's other guys that could come in and play. I just think their left side, other than Bunting, the other three guys, Kerfoot, and I know Kerfoot's a versatile player and whatever.
And if he gives you a little more, I got no problem with where Kerfoot plays. I just want a little more.
But Engvall and Richie,
Richie, yeah,
no. And so let me just run this.
Okay, but in a few weeks, Mikheyev will be back on the left side.
Engvall will be out of the lineup.
Yeah, Engvall will probably be out of the lineup. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's hard. They've won 8 of 9, so you're not going to see many lineup changes. But if things did go south, I would have no problem with taking Engvall or Richie out and giving Josh Ho-Sang just a few games on the left wing there. Even on the third or fourth line, just to see what happens. But
I 100% agree with that. So
it ain't going to happen right now.
No, it's not. So secondary scoring, though, just before we wrap up this and then get to wet puck or dry stick the first time in the new season. But Zach Hyman, for some former Leafs, okay? Zach Hyman, 8 goals, 3 assists, 11 points so far this season, okay?
Not bad.
Andreas Janssen, 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points in New Jersey so far this season.
Not bad.
Our buddy Cappy. Remember our friend Cappy? Used to
Slappy
love that.
Cappy.
Used to love that fucking guy. Slap him the cheeks.
I don't think you loved Kapanen. You loved Page, but
I did. But no, I did love Cappy. I like Cappy, his speed, all that shit. 4 goals, 5 assists with the Penguins so far, 9 points for Cappy.
Oh, could you imagine that left side?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Kadri, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points.
Centerman, not a left side.
No, but he could, whatever. Okay.
But a former Maple Leaf, but he just shouldn't count if you're talking about left wingers. And neither should Connor Brown because he's not a left winger.
Okay, fair enough. But you could play, but they're playing guys. Okay, you could play one of those guys on the left wing, is what I'm saying.
You could play Connor Brown on the left wing. What does Connor Brown have this year?
2 goals and 5 assists, but he's missed games recently, I think, because there's like a COVID thing going in Ottawa.
Right. And the one thing about Connor Brown is that he is being played in Ottawa like a star. Like he's getting top minutes, top power play minutes. The other guys, though, like Kapanen, to put up those numbers, well, I guess Pittsburgh's riddled with injuries, so he's playing a lot more. But Janssen, those were good pieces. And we always knew they were good pieces in Toronto, but you had to part with them because we had to pay the big boys.
So every guy I just mentioned has over 10 points, except for Brown, and he's whatever. I would still take Brown.
How's our left side looking now compared?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Like, here's what I was going to say. Other than Nylander, Tavares, Marner, and Matthews, the big 4, you've got everybody else on the team. Everybody else has 10 points or less, and usually a lot less. Kerfoot's got 10 points. Riley's got 10 points. Forward-wise?
Yeah, and give me if we're talking specifically left side, what does Bunting have?
7 points.
What does you said Kerfoot has 10. What does Engvall have?
4 points.
Oh, what does Richie have?
2 points.
Oh my God.
So like, it just keeps.
They would be first place in the NHL if they had those points from the other guys.
Dude, you put Janssen back on this team. You put Cappy back on the team. Hyman. Holy fuck. Oh yeah. Fuck. Anyway.
Hey, this is welcome to the cap world. I hate the salary cap. I hate it.
Kapanen was making less money than Kerfoot. Who would you take right now, Kapanen or Kerfoot?
Oh, in a heartbeat, Kapanen.
Cappy, man. Like, just you imagine you keep Bunting. You just Kerfoot out, Engvall out, Richie out, Cappy back, Janssen back, and Hyman back. And like they're oh my God, just what could this team look like if? Oh fuck!
But that's the cap world.
I know.
That's the cap world.
Sucks. We've lost
a lot of everybody's been talking about ever since those contracts were signed. How are you going to build a team with no money? And this is how it looks. And this is how it's always going to look. Yeah. And next year, it's going to be someone different. There is a player out there right now. There is a player somewhere sitting in a press box with a broken leg who is a future top 9 forward on the Toronto Maple Leafs because they're going to get him for dirt cheap and he has some super upside potential or something. That's just how it's going to go, man. That's just how it's going to go. But can we do wet puck or dry stick?
Yep. Let's end this puppy on the first segment of the season for wet puck or dry stick.
Let's do it. It's time for wet puck or dry stick. All right, Dale. So how this works is we are going to ask each other a series of random hypotheticals or things that are happening right now in the hockey world or with the Toronto Maple Leafs or just anything in life. It's either a wet puck, which means good because we like the puck wet. We like it sliding. We like it going in.
Doesn't get better than a wet puck.
No, a wet puck is what you want. Dry stick? No.
Does not get worse than a dry stick.
If you got a dry stick, you can't move it. You can't put it in. You can't stick handle. So many things go wrong with the dry stick. We saw Austin Matthews had a dry stick on the breakaway in overtime the other night. What happened when he got a new shaft and a wet puck?
That's right. You know how you make a dry stick better? You spit on it and you make it wet.
Don't they use I used to use when I was a kid, I used to use a candle and I would like rub wax on it.
Wax it. Yeah. We gotta wax. You used to wax the twig.
I
wax your fucking
used to wax
twig.
I used to have this big like candle and I used to just wax the twig because you didn't want a dry stick. Gotta wax it up.
I used to just tape it up at the base.
I'm talking after you tape it.
Oh, after you tape. Oh yeah, no.
You rub the wax on it.
I just used to really like to tape around the base, like just get it nice and firm, make sure it was nice and hard and ready to go. You just tape around keep rolling that tape around the base.
Oh, right at the base?
Yeah, right at the base.
One of our all-time listeners, Rusty, good friend of ours, good friend of the show. I texted
Shout out Rusty, we love you.
I texted Rusty like 2 weeks ago because I took my son to hockey and noticed that everybody's taping their stick completely taped. Like the entire blade
really
is taped. I never did that. So I texted Rusty and I'm like,
no,
because he still plays all the time. And I said, do you do this?
That's
he's like,
weird.
He's like, oh yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah, he's like, I tape her toe to heel.
What?
Toe to heel.
Okay. I guess I'm out of the fucking loop because I am not aware of this.
So I had to like take the tape off my kid's stick and retape it toe to heel. Like
okay,
completely taped.
What is with that? Someone send us a email. Let us know. I don't know what is with that. Do you know? The big boys aren't doing that.
Oh, they do. I've been looking at their sticks during the games. They are all taping.
Okay.
You remember the old days?
That's not what I saw.
Guys would put just a little bit of tape in the middle. Now they go the complete toe to heel.
I'm gonna have to pay more attention, I guess, because this is new to me. Like,
well, Rusty said that's we got. He says it protects it from the moisture.
Okay.
So toe to heel. But anyway, It's wet puck or dry stick. Sorry, we got off track there. Dale, you go first.
All right. We've kind of hit on some of these things that I've got here already, but we'll just kind of reiterate and I'll throw them out there and we'll see what's up. So first one for you, Chatty, wet puck or dry stick. The Toronto Maple Leafs will have at least one forward outside of the big boys, the core four, that will score at least 20 goals this season. Wet puck or dry stick.
I've got to go dry stick. I mean, we're 16 games into an 82 game season, so we're almost 20% done the year, and there's nobody in the secondary scoring who's anywhere close to the 20 goal pace.
Outside of the top four, I believe the next highest goal scorer on the team is Stache and Bunting, and they each have 4. So
right, and Cache's been on a little hot streak. Bunting, so he would have to get 16. They'd have to get 16 more goals. They're just. I'm going to go dry stick. I don't see it happening. Maybe 8, maybe 18, maybe 17.
I think I think this team will be hard pressed to have anybody outside the top 4, the big 4, that scores 20 goals. I'm dry stick on this. I don't think it happens.
Stache has scored 4 goals in the first 16 games, but he has had 3 in the last 3. Would you be completely surprised if he had no goals in the next 5 or 6 or 7?
No, I wouldn't be surprised, but the way I do like the way he's playing. It looks like he's got.
But it could happen.
He could be the guy, but I'm not counting on it. I'm just. Yeah, no, I agree. So I'm dry stick on this big time. I don't think it. You'll have someone get to 15, maybe even like you said, 17, 18. I don't think anybody outside the core 4 gets to 20 goals this season. I just don't fucking see it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go into mine.
Yeah.
We already touched on this. I didn't know we were going to go so deep on this on the podcast, so I apologize. We're kind of repeating ourselves, but anyway.
It's all good.
Dale, wet puck or dry stick? The Leafs goaltending tandem of Jack Campbell and Peter Mrazek will be the goaltending tandem that finishes this season.
Man, I mean, there's just so many.
We already talked a lot about it.
I know it's so hard to call that, like with Mrazek's health, to finish the season.
Like, do you think Peter Mrazek? Do you think they make a trade for a goalie, or do you think they're gonna? This is a wet puck. These guys will get it together.
Here's where I'm gonna go with this, just to try to be positive on it. I am hoping. I'm gonna say that Mrazek comes back. The groin is gonna be okay. They'll find some type of load management situation for Jack. I'm going to go wet puck. Yeah, I think it will be Mrazek and it will be Campbell. I think Look at
you being all optimistic.
I know. Yeah, I'm going wet puck on that. Wet puck on that.
That's not like you.
No, but Peter, stop using your fucking feet. Come on, figure that shit out, man.
You want to whip your clock? Use your hand.
Yeah, you got to use the hands, buddy. So wet puck. Where are you at there then?
I think they're going to make a trade for a goalie.
So you're going dry stick on this?
Yeah, I'm going dry stick on this. I honestly believe that there's just no time to waste. There is no time to waste with this team.
Holy fuck. I can't believe I'm playing the optimist here.
I know, and I'm usually the guy who's always looking at the bright side.
Man.
I'm the guy who for 3 years has been defending William Nylander, not just on this podcast, but to friends, to people online. I'm like, this guy's great. This guy's great. Now it's like, oh, we love Willie.
I've come around a lot on Willie, but especially like when as soon as you rock the stash, it's over. You're in my good books.
When he signed that,
you're never leaving.
When Willie signed the contract, I remember doing this podcast and we were talking about it and we debated it. And I said it's a great contract, and people were like, "It's a fucking terrible contract." I'm like, "No, this guy at that price is great for that many years. Is great." But anyway,
okay,
what do you got for me?
Okay, well. I could not get through a podcast without going here with this fucking guy. Okay. Nick Ritchie will stop being babied like a little fucking bitch by Sheldon Keefe, and he will find himself a healthy scratch before the Leafs hit the 25 game mark, which is another 9 games before they hit the 25 game mark. Wet puck or dry stick?
Dry stick. It's a dry stick. They're not gonna take this guy out. They signed this guy to $5 million over 2 years.
I don't give a fuck, Chad.
I don't give a fuck.
If
I don't want to see him in the lineup, but he ain't coming out. He ain't coming out.
If they are at game fucking 24 and this guy's got 2 assists, 3 assists, yet to put one in the net, buddy, take a fucking seat. Wet puck all fucking day long. Take a seat in the fucking press box. It needs to happen, in my opinion. It fucking needs to happen. This guy is not bringing, like, he's getting coddled and babied all over the fucking place. Enough with this fucking guy. Fuck.
Ooh.
Wet puck? Sorry, dude. Like,
no, I totally get it. I'm not looking at it as like, oh yeah, I really can't wait till Nick Ritchie gets it together. Give him time. I'm looking at it from the way they've been going about this. It just seems like Dubas is telling Keefe, we need this guy to go. I cannot trade this guy. This was a bad contract. We need this guy to go.
Dude, power play time. Getting like promoted from the fourth line to the second line. He hasn't done anything to deserve any of those fucking things.
That's why I'm saying, you think they're going to do all that and then magically be like, no, press box?
Well, eventually enough is going to become enough, and they are going to, Sheldon will, I believe, will turn on him. I think he will, because can't.
All right.
He's been saying the right things in the media about Richie and all that, because he doesn't want to like throw him under. He's hoping that he's got something to give. But to me, he looks far, far away from bringing what he should be fucking bringing. So anyway, Richie, fuck, what a goddamn disaster. Wet puck, take a seat in the press box. You're a dry stick. That's fine. What do you got?
All right. This is my last one. And then I think you got one more.
I do.
All right. So far this season, John Tavares has played 15 games, has 8 goals. William Nylander, 16 games, 7 goals. Austin Matthews, 13 games, 6 goals. By the end of the season, after 82 games have been played, Austin Matthews will not be the team leader in goals.
Dry stick.
I didn't even get to say it. Wet puck or dry
come on,
stick.
are you kidding me? That's dry stick. Once this guy gets going, it's going to be fucking no. Tavares looks great. Nylander looks great. And I think those guys will continue to have great seasons. But once Austin fucking gets her going, he's going to fucking
You're
blow
probably
past
right. I say John Tavares has 8. Willie has 7. It wouldn't surprise me if Austin put a hat trick in Tuesday night.
What does Austin have now? 5 or 6? I think
6.
He's got
he
6.
has 6, but he can score 3 on Tuesday, and he's number one on the team.
That's a very quiet 6 goals. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he scores 5 goals next week. And then he's like, I think once they get going. He's also
taking more shots than I've ever seen anybody take.
Yeah,
he shoots the puck like crazy.
Dude, as far as goal scoring goes, I'm not betting against fucking Mustache. It's just not happening.
All right.
So dry stick. Are you?
Oh, it's a dry stick. The Rocket Richard winner not getting it together and having more goals than JT and Willie. No, he will. But I just thought I'd throw it out there because we're almost 20 games in. And he's not leading the team.
Not worried about it.
All right.
Last one. Ready? Last one. Ready?
Let's do it.
Wet puck or dry stick, Chad?
Oh, wet puck. 90% of the time, 100% wet puck.
That's right. I love that. So everyone knows the Leafs core 4. Tavares, Matthews.
Sorry, what was that?
Everyone knows the...
No, what? Say Tavares again.
Tavares.
Okay, keep going.
Everyone knows the Leafs core 4. Okay, Tavares, Nylander. What is it? What?
I don't know. It sounded weird the first time, but now I'm just laughing. But anyway, keep going.
Anyway, everyone knows the Leafs core 4. Okay, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares. Okay.
Yeah.
So the big money players, okay, like the give me all the money gang. All right.
Yeah. I don't know if they're big money players, but they wanted big money.
That's right. They took all the fucking money.
I take Willie out of this, and it's just JT Austin and.
Well, okay. Just listen.
But I know. Okay.
They have been known as the core 4. Okay. Wet puck or dry stick. That core 4 no longer exists. There is now a new core 4, and they should be called Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Timothy Liljegren, and TJ Brody. The new core 4. The new core 4.
I see what you did there.
Okay.
Yep.
What's one thing all 3 of those have in common? Or all 4 of those have in common?
Fuzzy caterpillars on their lip.
Mustaches, okay? Wet puck or dry stick. There's a new core 4 in town, and it's Austin, it's Willie, it's TJ Brody, and it's Timothy Liljegren, Magnum PI, wet puck or dry stick.
Well, okay. On the ice, that's a dry stick. At the bar after the game, that's a wet puck. Like that is a wet puck all day long.
Well, you got to pick one.
Well, what are we talking? Are we talking on the ice, their play?
No, we're just talking like
in life.
In life.
Oh, well, in life, that's a wet puck.
The Leafs have
That's a wet puck in the dressing
Leafs-
room, on the street, on the bus, in the airplane, walking into other cities, going
Yes.
to bars.
That's what I'm talking about here.
That's the core four.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. We love Jonathan.
And honestly, not only is that the new core four in the game of life, but Timothy Liljegren is probably the leader of that core four.
I could see that. Maybe Brody though. I don't know. Brody's sneaky. I think
He's quiet though, but Liljegren, he's probably like, come down to Hawaii. We'll solve some crimes.
Pound some chicks. So I love that. I love that. I think there's a new core four in town. Sorry, Mitch. Sorry, JT. Listen, Johnny Toronto, you can get back in. Just grow a muzzy. We'll get you right back in. But as of right now,
hey, if you were to build a core four around tips,
he's leading the way.
Yeah, JT's the master. So you built this core four around mustaches.
There's a new core four, and it's the mustache fucking gang. And what did they call the Sinatra and like Sammy Davis Jr. and the Rat Pack?
They called them the Rat Pack.
Was it 4 guys in the Rat Pack?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 guys.
Okay, well, we can call them like they kind of all got fucking dirty rats. So we'll call we'll call them
the Rat Pack.
I like the Rat Pack for these 4, but to me, this is the new core 4 because of their mustaches. Absolutely glorious.
Yep.
Big time wet puck.
Take
us home. Take us home.
All right. Well, listen, everybody. For the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip in Podcast. Email us at the tipinpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube at the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe. Visit our Patreon page at the tipinmapleleafspodcast.com or patreon.com/the Tip in Podcast. You can donate as little as a cup of coffee. But before we go, let's tee up next week and then hit the road. What do we got next week in Leafland, Dale?
We got 3 games at home and 1 on the road. Tuesday night, the Predators come to town. Thursday night, the Rangers come to town. Saturday night, Pittsburgh comes to town. And then a back-to-back Sunday night in Long Island against the Islanders. So my question to you before we go is, I think Campbell plays the Nashville game. He plays the Rangers game on Tuesday and Thursday. The Pittsburgh game at home on Saturday or the Islander game in New York on Sunday? Which game does Campbell play? Which game does Wall play?
This one, I would like. Normally, I'm the guy who goes play your starter on the first night, but this one, Long Island, every time JT goes there, it's blood in the water.
You got to have Jack and Net.
You need Jack and Net because we know this team likes to shy away.
Jack can handle that situation.
Yeah, and that's a lot for Joseph Wall to take on. Play him Saturday at home against Pittsburgh. I know it's the Penguins and it's going to be a tough challenge for him, but man, we've seen that Long Island building.
Not as tough as it would be on Sunday in Long Island.
Every time Tavares goes into Long Island, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. And it's going to be like that. They're never going to let it go. They're New Yorkers. They're never going to let it go. So
100%. So I agree with you. We'll see what happens there. I think that is the smart play here, but we'll see.
It should be the smart play. But for the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, until next week, we will
catch you later. Go Leafs, go.
At the time.
100%. Go Leafs.